Okay, so I made further progress on the transfer caboose. I've started cutting holes for the windows, and I've installed some of the windows. That door is going to be open, and then as you can see, I've kind of wrapped the windows in a bit of a frame after I've cut them out. I'll just show you what I'm doing here to get these holes. Now, they don't look pretty, but it doesn't really matter actually. So what I'm doing is just drilling a whole bunch of holes, and I'll just check to make sure I get the right. Yeah, so just above that big one. So for these side windows here, I'm just drilling down all the flats, and then I'll show you what I do to join them up. Doesn't take long to drill a hole. Okay. So once you get all the holes drilled, you still got solid material in between, but you can stick your blade in there and just wiggle. And you cut one way. Wiggle with a bit of steady pressure, just wiggle it in. And then you cut through the pieces like that. Okay, so that's all cut through. I won't bore you with the rest, but I'll just show you how it looks right now. So I've got my doors here. As I say, this door is going to be open. It still needs I'm using the Plastruct T to go around, and you'll see how I've dressed this door here. That's got the Plastruct T, plus it still has the same surround as it's on this window here. Okay, so I've basically taken these flat windows, or sorry, this window here, and wrapped it in this. And so that squeezes right in there nicely. And it covers up all of the gnarly edges quite nicely, actually. I'm not going to glue any of this in because I still got to paint it, but I've decided to actually use wire mesh instead of glazing for the doors. And I'm also going to use wire mesh for the bottom two panes of the window, and the top two panes I'll actually put glazing in. So this door here I still have to carve out and add in some wire mesh, just to show you. So this one, this is a double window and a single window. What I did was cut off the edge of the single window and use the solvent to glue them together to make a double pane. So this side actually has a double pane, and it's a pretty tight fit, which is good. I haven't glued it yet. Everything's falling apart now. Anyway, trust me, it fits in there. It's hard to do. I'm looking through my camera here while I'm doing this, so it's kind of like cutting your own hair in the mirror. So that cleans up nicely, and then there's a single pane on this side, which is this guy. Hopefully he goes in a little easier. Yep. So you see, once you get this painted up and put the glazing in there, it's going to look pretty good. So that's that. I still got to carve out this extra window here. I've got to do my opening door, do that window on that. Figure out what color I'm going to paint it. I think I'm going to go with red. It's a caboose, why not? And then fill in these holes. And I think I'm ready for priming. Now the base, I ended up not liking the look of where the platform ended with the wheels, so I actually cut it again, and I extended it another 5 mil. So that's double cut, but it doesn't seem to matter. I did glue the platform down, so this thing's pretty solid now. I do have to do a connecting rod right there just to add that in. That's no big deal. But and I'm thinking with the stairs, I may actually have to cut the coupler, cut the coupler box off with the frame and push it out even more away from the wheels, so I'm not sure there's going to be clearance when the wheels are turned. I don't think I have enough to put the stairs in there, so we'll see. Anyway, easy enough. I'll do the same thing. I'll just put some bracing or a patch on the inside. I'll probably use a lot thinner material than that because it'll show through the floor. But that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to paint in a couple days, actually. I think this is going to go quite quickly. So thanks for all you guys watching the first part of this, and I'll try and keep you guys abreast of what's going on. Have a good evening. Okay, I figured out that in order to get this done, I got to start with the stairs on each end, and then work back toward the cabin. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So I'm starting to make the stairs here. I've got the sides drawn out and somewhat cut out. That's the other side. So there's 8 panels, 8 little triangle things. And then these stairs, it's half of one of those. So I cut those with the snips. And then I've got 20 thou square rod as the bottom step. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Yep. And then I've got to cut 15 thou for the risers. So I've got to do 3 risers and 3 steps on each one. So there's 12 altogether. And I'll show you more when I get those done. Okay, I got all the treads in, and I built the final one with the risers as well. And I just got to put the risers in the other 3 and then put the other stringer on the other side. I didn't think this was going to be that easy, but it actually turned out quite well. I'm using gel CA, definitely not the flowy kind, but the gel works really well. And definitely keep them as a single unit until you're ready to cut them out. Working with an individual riser would not be fun, but putting all 4 together worked out quite well. Okay, so just a quick shot of a single completed staircase. There's 4 of them. So I've got the risers in and I got the stringers in, and I'll have to do a bit of tidy up on the bottom there. But again, I used those squares, cut them into half, and they've each got 3 dots on them. And then I still got to put the stringers onto these guys here. But coming along well and look better than I thought they would. So I'm happy with them. Okay, so just a quick look at the platform assembly. Obviously I'm using wire mesh. This was angle, I think it was like 292 angle, but I ended up cutting it into like a hockey stick shape. And these are not going to go, these are going to go next to the metal. The metal's not going to rest inside the L. And then I've got 20 thou, I think that's 1 mil actually, square. And there's going to be about 4 to 6 of those as cross members underneath the mesh. And then I've got my C-channel. So there's 2 pieces of C-channel that make up the front piece. And I've notched them out to be 1 mil thick, so they match the cross members here. And so this is how the stair assembly works. So you put the C-channel facing outward on either side. That's a bit wonky, I got to straighten that up. But that's how it goes. And I got to make 1 more of these, and that's basically the end. And then I can work back toward the actual box. Looks like we got clearance. So just made the step ends, and the wheels can turn freely. So that's good. They're not going to bang in. That's how they look on the ends. I'll have to straighten them up a bit, but so far so good. Okay, so I got the platform bottom built on the one side. Everything came together really nicely, I think. Got the mesh on top. Got the supports underneath. You can still see them. And I got some end detail going. So yeah, obviously haven't glued down the mesh yet, but it's coming along. Everything kind of lining up nicely. And yeah, maybe I'll build the other platform next and then start on the railings. And then I got to do all the side fascia.